Okay, any other comments about future agenda items? Then we do have oral communications. Robbery Fawcett.
So we had to limit one, no? Fine.
Good afternoon. My name is Rob Roy Fawcett. I reside here in Escondido, and I just wanted to reiterate again that I disagree with the hospital ad hoc committee not being a standing committee, that they would be able to meet in private without public oversight and ability to see what is going on at that committee. To help them get up to speed so they don't come back and give us information that's already readily available to those informed citizens. On March 25th, the Palomar-Palmerado Finance Committee had a meeting. At that meeting, they received a report from their finance officer, Bob Himker. I made a video, and I can play it for you if you'd like at a subsequent meeting during oral communications. At that meeting, he indicated that they have $180 million in bonds that they issued. These aren't Prop BB bonds, they're revenue bonds, but they're a key component of the financing of the facility master plan. Those bonds were issued through an auction rate security scheme that gives them short-term rates for long-term bonds. Unfortunately, that scheme failed, and their interest rate went from about 3.8% up to 6.7 to 10%. It's going to have a multi-million-dollar impact. If you asked him the question, which one of their board members did, he said it depends, because it had a complex scheme of interest rate swap derivative, and there's some money they'd have to put up with that, depending on the interest rate on the day that they're able to wrap that up. There's also the problem that there's so many people impacted, so many municipalities, that it's hard to get a banker's attention to ask them the questions. So this isn't going to happen for another month or two. They're refinancing. In the meantime, they're going to have to pay these onerous interest rates. I think if you were to ask them what is the impact on the projects, they'd have to say it depends. And I don't think they know, and I don't think you should ask them for the next 3 months until they get this settled, because it's really unfair to them. It will have an impact. As I alluded to before, I think the impact will fall on Palmerado Hospital, because they've taken all the money out of downtown. That's the next place to take it. I don't think they should take it out of the ERTC, because we want a hospital there. In fact, they probably should have already taken the money out for overruns to finish the full hospital up there. Finally, I'd like to let the mayor know that I'm highly disappointed in her. I know that she's on the opposite side of this issue, and Wally's presentation of that video, I think, would be highly effective for the community to understand what was promised downtown: a 50,000 square foot building, a parking structure, and all of those employees working down there. That's not going to happen anytime soon. The agreement had a loophole that allowed them not to do that. I think the community needs to know that. Wally has done an excellent job in fishing out that video. He tried to present it a few weeks ago. Unfortunately, the mayor wasn't here, and the sound didn't work right. I've seen it on YouTube. It is a very powerful message, and I understand that anyone on the opposite side of this issue would not want that video played. I think you should play it. I think you have the technology to do it. I think the community needs to hear it again and again and again. They promised a lot to this community, and they are not delivering, and I think they do not intend to deliver.
Can you sum up?
They keep coming up. Yes, I will. They keep coming up with presentations to the community of all the wonderful things they'll do downtown. My understanding is the Chamber of Commerce will have Wally and Larry Michaels and myself present what we think the funding situation is downtown, based on information last year. Won't include this new information. We don't know what the effect of that will be. And I invite all the community to come and listen to that, even the mayor.
Thank you. Jerry Davis.
Good afternoon again, Jerry Davis, resident of Escondido. And I'd like to take the opportunity of my oral communications period while we still have one to lobby you with respect to two items. The first is Mr. Daniels' proposal. I've been watching throughout this process and incidentally counting votes as I did so, as the staff has increasingly had to deal with very nebulous sorts of concepts, or concepts where half the council was in dispute with the other half. And this is why this thing is taking so long. And Mr. Daniels' proposal is a simple, straightforward proposal. It's a proposal that reduces your litigation exposure because there is established immediately a clear nexus in those neighborhoods. The neighbors voted on it. And I urge you, when this item comes back to you, to get behind it and support it. Second, I also urge your support of the future agenda item to retain the public's use of multimedia in making presentations before the council. There is a long history of constitutional jurisprudence that has held that the right of the public to petition their officials should not be arbitrarily restricted. Over the decade or so that I've observed meetings of this nature, I've seen presentations made by slide sign, musical instruments, charts, boom boxes, and hand puppets. So surely a video could not be that excessive. I understand that this is an issue where the city is concerned about getting drawn into a dispute that is becoming increasingly taking on the tones of a private dispute. And I would suggest to you that the subject matter restrictions of the Brown Act offer you some potential relief there, and that also those whose feelings might be hurt have civil process available to them. And they also have the ability to make use of this forum if they only wish to appear here and refute the allegations that are made against them, though we haven't seen them in quite some time now. So I urge you, when that item comes before you, to reaffirm that the First Amendment doesn't stop at the city borders. Thank you.
Thank you.